Hello and welcome to the Central Florida Consortium of Private School Counselors College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but will be around for the entire session to answer any questions. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Central Florida. That's strivescan.com/Central Florida. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, Keiser University.
Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if this doesn't work. My name is Shanae Smith. I'm from Kaiser University. I'm an admissions officer. So can everyone see my screen? I hope so.
Yep, looks good.
Okay, awesome. Let me put this in. There we go. Okay, so this is my contact information here on the screen. So if anyone ever has any questions that they think about after this, you feel free to shoot me a text, call me, or email me. I'm always checking my phone. Here on the bottom is the address. Our campus is located in West Palm Beach, Florida. Gorgeous campus. It's about 10 minutes away from the beach. So for anyone who likes the beach, it's a great place for you. So a little bit about Kaiser. All of our programs fall under 4 categories. So they are healthcare, technology, criminal justice, as well as, I'm sorry. So our placement rate is 91%, which means that 91% of our students find jobs in their field of study within about a year of graduating. We have local campuses that actually have 100% placement rate in programs like medical assisting, nursing, medical lab assistant. And that's because most of our programs have externships built into the program, which allows for students to have opportunity to not only get that hands-on experience and exposure, but often students are able to get hired straight on from their externship once they graduate. This isn't only in our healthcare field, but also, for example, in political science. Many of our students are able to find jobs within local governments or sometimes in DC and get in with them early on. That way, once they graduate, they already have a job set up. So it's a really good opportunity here at Kaiser. Additionally, we have over 29 different athletic clubs and teams. So anyone interested in playing sports, that's something that may interest you. We are D2 NAIA, and we're actually pretty good. We've won some titles in the past year that we're really excited about. All of our classes are fairly small, so there's about 15 to 20 students per class. So anyone who knows that they do better in smaller classroom settings, it's a great fit for you. It allows you to have the opportunity to interact with your professors as well as your classmates on a really interpersonal level and get to know them and build those relationships. Additionally, we're very diverse. So we have students from over 50 different countries across the world. So if diversity is something that's important to you, definitely something to keep in mind. This is a video I wish I could show you guys, but I don't think we'll have time. But this is our campus. Again, it's located in West Palm Beach, Florida. Gorgeous campus. It's over 100 acres. However, everything is about a 10-minute walk. So from your classes to your dorms, to the library is going to be about 10 minutes in distance from each other, which is great. When I was in college, I had to walk pretty far to my classes. So just some general information as far as our admissions criteria. On the right-hand side, you guys will see our GPA, SAT, and ACT requirements. However, what's different about Kaiser is we take whichever score is the highest. So if your GPA is a 3.1, but maybe your SAT scores aren't that high and vice versa, we take whatever is the highest score. So in that circumstance, we would take your GPA. Through your admissions process, you actually get your own admissions counselor. And what's cool is they will walk you through everything. So at no point are you ever left in the dark. They help you figure out what your highest scores are and things like that. Just sit down and talk with your family and just make sure that Kaiser is the right fit for you. So after that, they'll set you up with a financial aid officer, which is awesome because a lot of times in college it's difficult to get in contact with financial aid. And that officer will sit down with you and your family and they'll figure out, okay, how are you going to pay for college? So at Kaiser, we have a couple of scholarship opportunities. For one, we match Florida Bright Future dollar for dollar. So any student that has that, we'll match that. Additionally, we have merit-based scholarships that range. That just depends on the GPA and the test scores that the student comes in with. Additionally, if you don't have a GPA or the SAT or ACT scores for Kaiser, we actually have our own separate entrance exam, which allows students another opportunity or another avenue to actually be considered for acceptance. So there's a lot of different variations as to how we accept our students. These are some of our more popular programs at our university. Any program that you guys see with an asterisk beside it, it just means that the program has a bit higher requirements for actual acceptance. So applied engineering, biomedical sciences, exercise science, and nursing. That's just because those programs are more demanding and we want to make sure that we're setting our students up for success. However, let's say a student maybe doesn't come in with the grades that they need, they can start in a different program and then transition into that program as long as they meet those requirements. So we're really big on working with our students to make sure that they're able to be successful and accomplish what they seek. There's some of our really cool specialized programs. So one of those is entrepreneurship. We do a version of Shark Tank. For anyone not familiar with Shark Tank, it's a show where you can take your business proposals or your inventions and you can win money for them. We do something very similar called Seahawk Tank, and it's the same idea. You bring your business ideas and you can win money for them. We actually had a student go on Shark Tank and he won $100,000 for protein bars. So it's a really awesome program, very, very hands-on. Another really cool program we have is cinematic arts. So cinematic arts is for anyone interested in screenplay, screenwriting, or just the business side of that industry. It's a perfect fit for you. Equine studies, we have the business side, but we also have the biomed side. So for students interested in going a pre-vet route, it's a great program for you. Or if you're interested in just working with animals on a more business side of things, we have that side as well. We also offer esports. So a lot of colleges have esports as a way for students to be able to get scholarship money and things like that. So we offer esports like Mario, Smash Brothers, Call of Duty, League of Legends, a few other games. So some really, really cool stuff. And I think that is my time. So again, here's my contact information. My name is Shanae Smith from Keiser University. And if you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And a reminder to all of our participants that you can use that Q&A function to ask questions of any of our schools here at any time. So please feel free to use that Q&A function. Up next, we have a Johnson & Wales University.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Dave Freitas, and I am with Johnson & Wales University. I've been with JWU for, over 20 years now. And I would love an opportunity to talk to anyone who's interested in checking out JWU, a pretty special place. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll take a quick look at what JWU has to offer. And I just had it up here. My apologies. Go. A multitude of screens. And there we go. Starting from the beginning, okay. Johnson & Wales University. We were founded back in 1914, so we've been around for a while. We have over 100 years of experience, right? And our founding principles based on our two founders, lovely ladies of Gertrude Johnson and Mary Wales. Back at a time when the universities, colleges really weren't much into experiential education, internships. So that's part of our DNA. And we've carried that philosophy ever since, over the 100 years now, and expanding from a business school to over about 6 different colleges, 80 plus different majors, anything related to the arts and science, which kind of lends itself to careers and majors that go on to graduate school, business, all sorts of majors within a business realm, food and innovation technology, taking your passion for food and all sorts of careers that are related to that particular area. And we're global. We have a global awareness with both the College of Food and Innovation Technology, basically culinary, and at the bottom there, hospitality, which is another major college that we have global programs all over the world, right? We also have a college of College of Engineering and Design, and a fairly new College of Health and Wellness, which lends itself to pathways to go on into medical school. So if you want to check out JWU, you're looking at our 2 campuses. Our main campus being up in the little state of Rhode Island in Providence. And that's, again, where we were founded. And we also have a smaller regional campus in Charlotte, which has a good selection of the majors that we offer. Same university. If you are accepted to one campus, you're also accepted to both, which is nice to have that option. But Providence, being the larger campus of about 6,000 students, and those are our undergraduate students. So it's a medium-sized school, not too big, not too small. And we also have our graduate and doctorate programs. All our programs, majors, sports, activities are offered at the Providence campus, but Charlotte also does have a good selection. But you can see on the left-hand side, we kind of dominate the downtown area of this artsy little city of Providence. And it is only an hour from Boston. In the middle there, you see that we have this nice river that goes through the city of Providence, and we have these water fire festivals, which are pretty amazing. On the right side, you see some of those classical buildings. On the bottom right, you see we have state-of-the-art labs and facilities and buildings for some of our colleges. Like in that case is our Food and Innovation Technology College right out on Narragansett Bay. And the bottom center is our recreation center for our athletes. And you can see we're a 4-season campus up there. And hopefully that's what you're looking for. And would be excited to be in up New England with the different seasons that offer all sorts of activities. We also have, of course, our Charlotte campus, right? And that is located right downtown Charlotte, the 3rd fastest growing city in the country. And our campus looks a little different there. It's modern. But again, it's all part of Johnson Wales University. And you have a campus that was built on a site at the, actually working with the city of Charlotte. And they chose Johnson Wales to be that college of choice to be built downtown. And we're right across the street from the bank, world headquarters of Bank of America, right? And lots of Fortune 500 companies and all sorts of representation there. And again, we're located in major cities, because we want to have our students have access to doing things related to their major. Again, that experiential component that we spoke of at the beginning. We have a small classroom sizes, average of 18:1, 97.7% positive outcome ratings for our students going off and graduating within 6 months of graduating from JWU. Right? We have 1,500 internships and worldwide in 33 different countries, 46 different states. So chances are we're going to have whatever you're looking for, and wherever you might want to do that program. We're going to work with you as a student coming to JWU right from the get-go. You start in your major your very first year, and all 4 years you grow with that major. So you get a nice immersion. You have career coaching, academic coaching along the way. We have all these professional tool sets and development of a performance transcript to go along with your academic transcript. So as you can see, the whole idea is that we want you to be a leader in your field. And by the time you're a senior, you can compete for the best opportunities out there because you've done all the right things and have the right skill sets. We're not all about just career focused. We have Division III sports. We have over 150 clubs and activities. We have fraternities and sororities. So the whole idea, again, is that you're going to have a balance of being goal focused and having a home for 4 years that you're going to enjoy. We're diversity. We take that very seriously. We feel that it's what empowers JWU, and we have all sorts of students from different backgrounds and different coming from different countries from around the world, and that's part of that college experience. So this is my contact information. Obviously, I've gone through this rather quickly, but should you need more information, feel free to take a picture of that email and my cell phone, and I will be happy to connect with you guys and see what I can do to help you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Reminder to use that Q&A function to ask questions of our schools here at any time. Up next, we have the Massachusetts Maritime Academy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Al Seitz. I'm the Director of Admissions at Massachusetts Maritime Academy. For those of you that may not be aware of where we're located, we are located right on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, right before you go out to Cape Cod, not far from where the Pilgrims landed. We are located about an hour south of Boston, Massachusetts. We are a public university for the state of Massachusetts. We're one of the 6 state maritime academies in the United States. We are STEM focused, heavily geared towards engineering and science. However, we do have a very robust athletic program, Division III, NCAA Division III men and women, and club sports. We also have a very diverse student body. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. I do want to share with you that we have 7 very distinct majors offered at the academy. Marine engineering and marine transportations are our 2 premier programs. What the academy was founded in back in the late 1800s. Marine engineering and marine transportation programs allow you to get your Coast Guard licensure to work on ocean-going vessels in the United States. We also have a facilities engineering major, which allows you to understand the operational systems of a building. Energy systems engineering, which has anything to do with generating electricity on the power grid, whether that be with wind, solar, fossil fuels, etc. That's one of our newest majors. We also have emergency management and homeland security, international maritime business for those students that want to understand the billion-dollar shipping and logistic industry that produces over 90% of all goods and services around the globe. And finally, our marine science, safety, and environmental protection program. All of our programs at the academy are very experiential based. All of our students are required to do co-ops and internships. And actually, some of our programs, students are required to do terms at sea. Actually, our ship, the T.S. Kennedy, just came back from 52 days at sea with over 400 of our cadets, where they were practicing their trade, doing a lot of activities, deck watches, learning how to operate the engine room, navigations, and various ports of call up and down the East Coast and in the Caribbean. All of our programs prepare you for very robust careers out there in the industry. One thing that makes the academy very distinct is our students are part of a regiment. All of our cadets are involved in an experience where they develop into leaders, which accents their education upon graduation. It helps them develop leadership and character skills. And it's really a laboratory in itself where you learn as a follower and you mature into becoming a leader. We have 7 companies on campus that serve as our residence halls, and our students has an opportunity to progress up the ranks and become squad leaders, platoon leaders, company commanders, and one student is the regimental commander and oversees the entire cadet corps of our school of over 1,300 students. A lot of students think that you're required to join the military upon graduation. You are not. Only about 10 to 15% of our students pursue the military. You have the opportunity to go and become an officer in the Coast Guard. through our MARGRAD program. You can become a commissioned officer in the Army through ROTC, and you can also become a commissioned officer through the Strategic Sea Lift program with the United States Navy. We have a brand new training vessel coming to campus in 2024. It's currently being built at the Philadelphia shipyard, which is a $300 million national security multi-mission vessel, which our cadets will be training on. All of the state maritime academies are getting new vessels, which have been approved and paid for by the government, the United States Congress. And this coming year, later this year, we're going to be getting one of the oldest ships in the fleet, an 1894 100-foot long schooner that's being completely refurbished and refitted, and that'll be coming to campus later this year. So we're very excited to have that join our fleet as well. Students have the opportunity to compete at NCAA Division III levels, both men and women and co-ed. We also have club sports and intramural sports, various clubs and activities, student government, etc., just like any other college or institution that help round out your education and student life. What type of students are we looking for? Our average weighted GPA this past year was about a 3.1 GPA. We are still test optional. However, you can see the average SAT scores and ACT scores. For our engineering majors, they are going to be probably strongly recommended for next fall, for the fall of 22, or fall of 23, I mean. However, I suggest all students that are underclassmen to take the SATs or ACTs just in case. This year, we are still test optional. Early action deadline is November 1st, followed by our priority deadline of February 15th. Regardless of what school you decide to attend in your future, I would assume that most of you will be looking at colleges and applying early. You need to submit your high school transcripts, essays, 2 letters of recommendation. And as I said, SATs are still optional, but I would probably recommend that you submit them. We do have campus visitor programs. Our upcoming spring open house is May 7th. We also offer daily tours. We also have a lot of virtual programs on our website, and we will be offering a full array of fall open houses this coming year as well. If you have any questions, you can scan that and get more information mailed to you. And there is my contact information at the Academy. Feel free to reach out at any time and speak to myself or any one of our staff, and we'd be more than happy to work with you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Up next, we have Jacksonville University.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for attending. I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared in just a second. All right, perfect. So Jacksonville University, we are a small private liberal arts institute located in the city of Jacksonville, or as we like to call it, the River City. Jacksonville University is really known for kind of being one of the largest cities in the continental US by land-wise. We're also one of the most populous cities in the state of Florida. Jacksonville is home to 7 professional sports teams, a ton of minor league teams, as well as a professional team known as the one, the only Jacksonville Jaguars. We have 22 miles of coastal beaches in the city of Jacksonville, and we're located near a lot of really great cities. So we're close to Charleston, Savannah, St. Augustine's about an hour south of us. Orlando's about 2 hours away, and Miami's about 5. So if you're looking to get your studies on during the week, but explore during the weekends, Jacksonville is a great city to start in. Jacksonville University has just under 3,000 undergraduate students at the Institute and just under 1,300 graduate students. We're a really diverse campus. 33% of our students are students of color, and we have students from 58 countries around the world, 49 states, and then 4 districts and territories as well. Jacksonville University has over 100 plus majors, minors, and pre-professional programs. Our top 5 majors are going to be business, nursing, kinesiology, marine science, and aviation management and flight operations. One of the cool things about all of our business programs at the university is you have the option to do a 4+1. So what that means is you're able to graduate with your bachelor's and your master's within 5 years. Our kinesiology program has the opportunity to meet with all of our NCAA Division I athletic teams and kind of get a chance to really use what they learn in their classroom with the athletic teams at the university. Our nursing program is one of the top nursing programs in the state of Florida. We have a STEAM Institute located on the university's campus where nurses are able to do their clinicals, but virtually. So it's a virtual reality lab. They're able to kind of work on patients, learn what they need to learn before they actually start attending and doing their clinicals in the hospital. Our marine science program is one amazing program as well. A lot of our students are able to start within their first or second semesters by taking classes on our giant classroom pontoon boat, where they can take it out on the St. Johns River and start doing their research by collecting water samples, collecting different species as well, and bringing that back to the Marine Science Institute and kind of doing the research on that. And then our aviation management and flight operations programs is just fantastic as well. 20 minutes from a regional airport where you're able to get your pilot license within 4 years. And you also have the experience of the aviation business degree while also being a pilot. Our university is broken down into 4 colleges: arts and science, business, health science, and fine arts, 5 schools, 2 institutes. So I really like to focus on the numbers at the bottom. We have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and the maximum class sizes we have is 25 students. You really get that personal experience here at JU. You're going to build those relationships with your students in the classroom, as well as with the professors as well. And nowadays, it's also about what you know, but it is about who you know as well. So creating those connections and networking with your professors is going to eventually land you your dream job for your dream company once you do graduate. We have 100+ organizations located at Jacksonville University, and our top 5 organizations are posted there for you. It's really easy to start a club if we don't already have it on campus. All it takes is 7 students and 1 faculty member. And if we don't have it, you can go ahead and make it. We have 10 Greek organizations, 60 fine arts performances and exhibitions every single year, as well as 8 intramural sports. While we're on the topic of sports, we have 17 NCAA Division I athletic teams and 2 varsity team sports. Some fun facts about our athletic teams is our lacrosse team actually beat number 2 Duke last week, and our basketball team has a winning record at home. So really a lot of great kind of exciting events happening with a lot of our sports teams, and our 2 varsity team sports are going to be sailing and clay shooting. Now, kind of the next question is I'd like to translate to is, how do you become a FIN? How do you apply? How do you go through the admissions process? The great thing about JU is it's super easy. We focus on what's called rolling admission. So by the time you submit an application, submit your materials such as your transcripts and scores, you should receive a decision within about 3 to 4 weeks. Our admissions counselors are working extremely hard trying to get these decisions out to our students so you have an answer on if you have been accepted. We don't have a minimum GPA requirement, but that is going to be our average incoming freshman GPA up on the screen, as well as the SAT and ACT scores. But the great thing about JU is we are test optional. So if your SAT and ACT scores fall a little bit low, you're able to just have your application reviewed solely off of your transcripts. You can apply to JU through the Common App or directly through our website. A little bit about our tuition as well. So we are a private institute. Our tuition is going to be a little bit high, but the great thing is 95% of all of our students are going to receive some form of institutional aid. So when you receive your decisions letter, your acceptance letter into JU, you're going to receive your academic merit scholarship. It can range anywhere from $14,000 to $33,000 per year based off your academic standing from your transcripts and SAT and ACT scores. We also offer different types of institutional scholarships as well if you fit into our fine arts program, marching band, any additional athletic scholarship. And if students are able to take a tour on campus, you receive a $1,000 visit and engagement scholarship. So we really recommend you getting out to Jacksonville and taking a tour of our university. We kind of determine our financial aid through the FAFSA. So we really recommend all of our students, if you have already been accepted, to get that FAFSA filled out and sent over to JU so we can send you your financial aid package in the mail. That way we can break down the estimated cost of tuition, your estimated awards, aid, grants you might have been awarded, and then that kind of remaining balance. And then we can kind of talk through how to cover that as well. If you have any questions, I'll go ahead and put my contact information up in a little bit. Just shoot me an email, send me a text, be more than happy to help out. JU also focuses on experiential learning as well. So all of our students are required to do one of the 4 on the screen, whether that's an internship for a company when you're back home during the summer, any type of undergraduate research program you are able to use for your experiential learning. A lot of students love to study abroad as well. Sorrento, Italy is our #1 program. Take credits and classes over there that can be used for your degree. And then any type of community service for the city of Jacksonville or on JU's campus is one thing that students love to do as well. So a little bit of my contact information up there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And then I'll also go ahead and put some information and some links in the chat. But thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you on campus soon.
Thanks so much. And a quick reminder to use that Q&A function to ask questions of our presenters here at any time. Up next, we have the Wentworth Institute of Technology.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is George Garcia. I'm one of the assistant directors at Wentworth Institute of Technology. We can get started here. So Wentworth by the numbers. So we are a small institution located right in the city of Boston, about 4,400 students. You'll see a breakdown of male and female there. We're working on different events to expose women into the STEM field. So we have different events throughout the school year for high school students. We're a very diverse campus. About 6% of our students are international and 29% are of African, Latin, or Asian descent. We're in a very diverse part of Boston. So again, we work on our diversity very, very hard each year just to increase that for our students. Our undergraduate programs, so we do have 20 undergraduate programs or majors. We split them down or divide them up into 5 different schools here. We're a very STEM-focused school, so we offer a School of Architecture and Design, Computer and Data Science, our most popular School of Engineering, the School of Management, the School of Science and Humanities. We also offer 25 minors for students, so you'll be able to see that list on our website if you're looking to add a minor to your 4-year degree. So why choose Wentworth? So one of the big reasons is the small classrooms, the very project-based learning that we offer here on campus. From day one, you're going to go right into your major, right into your field. Most of our classes are going to be project-based. So again, we want to get you out into the field, just really discovering exactly what you're going to be studying the next 4 years. Being able to be in groups, being able to talk to your professors and stuff like that. So we do offer small class sizes. As you can see here, average class size with us is about 18 students. Max class size is about 25 students. But again, being able to use your professors as resources when it comes to careers, co-ops, or just, being able to ask questions throughout the school year about any projects and stuff like that. Another big reason is we do require our students to complete 2 co-ops before they graduate. So what a co-op is very similar to an internship. You're working a full-time job while you're in school with us here at WIT. And we offer, co-ops pretty much wherever you like in the city of Boston. It could be international, West Coast, back home if it's back in Florida, Midwest, wherever you like to go, we have a place for you. So we do have a career and co-op center here that's going to help you with that entire process with mock interviews, resumes, cover letters, different things like that. Some of our stats here, students will earn about $20,000 in between their 2 co-ops. Again, it depends on the company that you're working with. You can earn a lot more, you could be a lot less, but again, it's really about gaining that experience in the field. And this begins your junior year, and we'll see a little bit of a breakdown on the next slide of what your school year is going to look like throughout the 4 years with us. So here we have that breakdown. Year 1 and year 2 are going to be more traditional, fall, spring classes, summer break. If you're a student who's looking at architecture, that is the only program that begins their co-ops sophomore year, summer break. Every other program is going to start their junior year, year 3. So you're going to have your fall classes, spring co-op, summer classes, fall co-op, spring classes, summer classes. So your final 2 years are going to feel like you're, nonstop. But again, you're gaining that real world experience during your co-ops. So every program is going to graduate in August rather than May, unless you're looking at architecture. But again, you're not going to be paying tuition during your co-ops or room and board, which is great. You're just going to be working, outside of outside of campus. And if you have any difficulties finding a co-op, we do offer a few on campus. But again, we do have that office that is dedicated to you and helping you find a co-op in your field. So student services. So we do offer a success studio on campus, which, where we have all of our tutors. So you're going to have tutoring in every single class you'll be taking on campus. You have your academic advisors located in a central location. We have a brand new library and learning commons, which has, tons of study hall space, all the new technology that you're going to need for your different projects, different programs that we offer. We have a health and wellness center that we share with another institution around the area. So we have 24/7 on-call counselors. We also have an international office. So for students who are international, looking to, find a part-time job on campus or off campus or during the co-op process, they'll help you with the F1s, visas, and everything like that. Another big part is living in the city of Boston. So you can't be living in the city of Boston at 18 to 20 years old. We do require our freshmen and sophomores to live right on campus. And what's great is that we're a small institution, so everything is pretty, centralized. So you're not walking 20 minutes to get to class. You're not walking 20 minutes to get to your residence hall or taking a bus or, trains or anything like that. Everything is just right there for you. You're crossing the street right over into campus, which is fantastic. We're surrounded by 35 different colleges and universities just in Boston alone. So you have about 250,000 students just in Boston during the school year. So it's a very active city during the school year, which is fantastic. You're able to, walk to those universities, possibly take classes there, but a lot to do in that city outside of just academics. We have the museums, we have different sports teams. Fenway Park is about a 10-minute walk from our campus. The TD Garden is about a 20-minute ride on the train. So very easy to get to those places, but different museums, downtown Boston, Copley, everything is just right there for you. So very active city throughout the school year. And like I stated earlier, we do require our students to live on campus during their first 2 years, but we do guarantee housing all 4 years. And like I said, it's our residence halls are right across the street from our main campus. So again, you're not walking too far. You don't have to take any public transportation to get to your rooms or anything like that. You just have to cross the street and you're right there. So very, very accessible campus for students. So in terms of student engagement, we do have about 70 clubs and organizations. We're also a part of the NCAA Division III, and we have 18 athletic teams, one of our top teams being men and women's volleyball. We offer 9 club sports for students who don't want to compete at that varsity level. And then what's another thing that's very unique to Wentworth is that we're part of the Colleges of the Fenway. So what that means is that we've partnered with 4 other institutions around the area. So students are able to join their clubs, be a part of their campus, join their events, play their club sports, their intramurals, different things like that. And if there's a minor that we don't offer that you see at another institution that's a part of the Colleges of the Fenway, you're able to take classes at those schools. So those schools will be Emmanuel, Simmons University, Mass Art and Mass College of Pharmacy, and we're all very, very close by to each other. Emmanuel being the furthest school, which is about a 5-minute walk from campus, which is fantastic. So again, students from those schools are able to come to our campus. You're able to go to theirs, and everything is pretty close by for you. So here's our, admitted student profile. Our average GPA that comes in is about a 3.5. So if your school's not on a 4.0 scale, we're looking at a solid B student. We're going to look very heavily at your math and science courses. 2 classes that we do require are going to be pre-calc and algebra 2. And then another part of your application is going to be your involvement in high school. So sports, part-time job, volunteer work, community service, that's all going to play a part in our decision. And we understand that the last 2 years have been very difficult to kind of get involved. So we're going to be looking at those 2 years a little bit differently. We are SAT and ACT optional, but you'll see our averages here. If you're an international student, there are test scores there for students. We do require an English proficiency exam. But then you'll see our stats below. We had close to about 6,000 applications last year. We had about 1,000 students join us this year. So we're a school that's growing. We have a lot to offer our students, and hopefully adding a lot more majors in the next few years.
George, we'll have to wrap up.
Yep. And then there's a virtual QR code if you want to take a tour of our campus. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now I'll ask all of our presenters here today to come back on camera, and we have time for one question here. So our question for the evening is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go in the same order, starting with Kaiser University.
So what I encourage students to do is a lot of students, we have them take this test called 16personalities.com, which is really cool because at the end, it gives you some career path suggestions. So those are more so for students that don't know what they want to do. From there, you can start researching programs and then check out niche.com. It's the most heavily traveled college research website in the entire country. So it's a great platform for students to research schools. Then also use social media. It's super convenient, super easy, and it gives you the exposure of what actual college life looks like at that school. So those are the 3 biggest things: is the 16 personalities, niche.com, and social media, as well as visiting schools if you're able to.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I mean, without going into some of those very good points there, I think it all really does start with knowing yourself. And that's probably one of the most daunting things, right? What do you want to do for the rest of your life? And if you can kind of figure that out, things start becoming a little easier. What's that best fit college? And quite often, if you're really going to do your due diligence and researching your colleges, maybe that college might not be in your backyard, right? You might have to travel for that. If you have a passion for a particular major, that's the kind of student that typically comes to JWU, they really know what they want to do for the most part, and they're looking for resources to be successful. So look at a college. Is it the right fit for you? Does it have the best reputation for your major? Is it going to make you successful? And do you see yourself there for 4 years and project yourself as a senior after 4 years? Are you going to be able to move on successfully and moving on into the real world, right? So I'll leave it with that.
Yeah, I think as we go through this question, I think we're all going to probably have very similar answers based on our experiences working in higher education. But one thing that I always try to tell students, and I'll echo what Shani and Dave both said as well, is as you narrow down your search list to schools, you need to visit your top schools. You need to be able to walk away from that campus, whether you're getting in a car with your parents, a train, or on a plane, even to Dave's point, and have a feeling inside your gut and your heart and your head that you can see yourself there. It's a good fit for you because it's going to be your home for the next 4 years of your life, where you're going to learn, mature, grow, and become an adult and begin your journey on life. So if you don't visit a school and you just show up there when school starts in September, flip a coin. You definitely got to go visit and narrow down and make sure that you can see yourself at that school, walk away. Because if you don't see yourself at that school, you take it off the list and you move on.
Absolutely. So I can kind of attest to what everyone has said here as well. We really, really recommend you narrow down your top schools and visit them. There's nothing like walking into the Welcome Center, meeting your ambassador, your tour guide, getting a tour and walking around, seeing the classroom, seeing the dining facilities, going into the residence halls. There's nothing like being on campus and having that feeling of knowing this is my home for the next 4 years. We really recommend as well kind of going with your gut. Your parents are going to be a huge part of this decision process as well. Take what they have, take their insight, kind of take their knowledge if they've had experience in higher ed, but really go with your gut. Try and make the decision that's best for you, that you can see yourself succeeding at, that you can see yourself walking across that stage in 4 years, and just really, really just trust your gut. That's probably the best advice I can give.
Yeah, I agree with everyone. I think my biggest advice would be to ask questions when you're on campus. We love to answer those questions for you, or at least help you find that answer. And we have tons of students that also love answering your questions. So just don't be afraid to ask those questions, because that's going to be it's going to help you out in making that decision too.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. And something I would add that I've heard a lot is just to stay organized. There's so much information coming at you, not only about like application deadlines, scholarship deadlines. If you're applying to many, many colleges, there's just so much coming at you. So keep a spreadsheet, a Google Doc, something that keeps you organized so you don't miss a deadline, because these are hard and fast deadlines usually, especially for those, admissions and scholarships and priority deadlines. So stay organized. And on that too is to have a dedicated email for the college search process, and make it a professional sounding email. Maybe, your first and last name, not your old high school, like Taylor Swift lover 2022 email. So have something that's professional sounding, that when you're applying, that's the email you use. And that's the email for your college search process. And then later that can be your professional email, because you will get a lot of information and you don't want it getting filtered in with all of your like retail coupons and things like that. So stay organized and just have fun with the process too. It can be stressful, but it also can be a really fun time. So that's my 2 cents as well in this process. And just to end, I just like to say thank you to all of our schools here today. We really appreciate you taking the time to be with us this evening. And thank you to participants for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. So we'd really appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions that are happening tomorrow. You'll find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Central Florida. That's strivescan.com/Central Florida. Thank you so much and have a great evening.